What's up, guys? Let's have a quick reality chat. Now, this is going to be about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, it's being reported that there are some issues going on with regard to the upcoming season 14, because the fact of the matter is the ratings were not that great for season 14, and honestly, the ratings were not that great for season 13. So for people who feel like it was because Nene Leakes was not on the season, it really isn't that, because season 13 was not that great either, and Nene just didn't even really seem like she wanted to be there in the first place. It was just like the stripper gate situation, who cares, big freaking deal. And then this stuff that came out after the season wrapped up and after the reunion with Porsha and her new fiance that was still married at the time, but now it's being reported that they are officially divorced because Fallon has, announced that she and Simon are now officially divorced. So yeah, now Porsha can really be free to go ahead and get married because he is no longer he's no longer entangled in that marriage. But it's being reported that they don't really know what they're going to do for the upcoming season, because they're kicking around the possibility of bringing back Sheree Whitfield, and that's that could be hit or miss. And then it's also reported that Cynthia Bailey is leaving, but she may be like a friend to the show. And then, of course, you've got Kenya and Porsha, who seem to be the ones that are embroiled in the most drama. And then Kandi, who has been on since season 2. And I guess at this point is the highest paid, or maybe she and Porsha are tied. I don't really know. But with the stuff that's come out recently, or I should say after the show wrapped, they are saying that Porsha isn't sure if she wants to return. She's not sure if she wants to come back for the next season because it is, she didn't say it's because, but I'm going to say she does not want people in her relationship, because we already know that how you get them is how you lose them. And it doesn't matter to me. I know people are out there saying, well, Fallon was cheating on him, and now Fallon's come out and said that she is dating the guy that Simon accused her of having an affair on him with. That's neither here nor there, because to be honest with you, I don't really care if she did cheat on her husband or not. But I will say that it's still wrong for Porsha to get involved with someone else's husband, and you can't use the, oh, well, she and I were not friends, or you can't use the, well, she was actually cheating on him, so I had the open space, I saw the opening and I slid right in. Like, no, it's still wrong. So she doesn't want people embroiled in her relationship. She knows how the show is, and in order to get the views and get people really interested, how interesting would it be if you had her come back on the show? They're not going to bring Fallon on as a housewife. I don't believe that. But that doesn't stop Fallon from filming with somebody like Kenya. And it has been stated, she has stated, that she and Kenya are actually, she considers Kenya a friend. And we already know Kenya and Porsha don't see it for each other. So, of course, it would be fitting for Kenya to film some things with Fallon, whether it's phone conversations, whether they're hanging out, going out to eat or something like that. I could see that happening. And as much as Porsha may kick and scream and say, I don't want that to come on the show, it ultimately is about the ratings and about the views that they get, because they have to pay those bills. They have to make the advertisers happy. They are paying the bills. They're actually the ones that are allowing for the show to pay the salaries that they're paying to these people. All right. So I'm not surprised that Porsha does not want to come back, because she doesn't want her relationship to be ruined, because we've already seen how relationships can be ruined by being on these shows in the first place. And so you couple that with losing them how you get them. She doesn't want to see that happen. And it is going to happen. I don't believe that it's going to end well for her in this relationship. And if you look at Simon's Instagram account, he's definitely somebody who's thirsty for attention. He's definitely somebody that is just all about it. It's kind of crazy to see it, but I guess, guys can be like that too. They say, women are primarily that way, that want to be seen and want to be heard. but his posts get the most likes when he's posting about Porsha or posting a picture of Porsha. I mean, and if he's not really posting about her, then it's not, there's not much happening there. So I'm not surprised that she doesn't really want to be on the upcoming season. Of course, she's going to hold out for as much money as she can get. I don't see her having a spinoff as being really interesting, especially because he's just not that interesting. The story was salacious. It was shocking, of course, to, so many people, but not really surprising about the type of person that Porsha is, because it has been revealed that she got the Rolls Royce by sleeping with Simon's cousin, allegedly. That's been reported. So I could see why she doesn't want to come back, because she doesn't want her relationship to be ruined. She wants it to last as long as she can allow it to last. But we've already seen the way Porsha's relationships end, and I don't see this one being much different. All right, Kandi and her restaurants. This isn't the first time that it's been reported that her restaurants got a C rating or had to be temporarily shut down due to inspections by the health inspector. And it's not something that is completely unusual. We already know this. It shouldn't be happening though, because it's not a hard thing to do, to follow the standards and the guidelines to operate the restaurant, to make sure things are being cleaned the right way, to make sure cleaning mixtures are mixed appropriately, making sure foods are stored appropriately, and all of those different things. But I don't know, could it be due to either they just don't have enough staff, or maybe the staff that they have, maybe they need to pay people more money? Or could it be because of the way things are right now with the state of the restaurant industry and how there is a shortage of workers? I don't know, but it's been reported that her restaurant, Old Lady Gang, has failed to improve conditions in the kitchen weeks after being scolded by the health department. This is being reported by Radar Online. And according to the official records obtained by them, an inspector from the Georgia Department of Public Health visited the spot in July on the 14th, and they found several violations at the restaurant, and some of them included preventing foodborne illnesses by having repeated risk factors, and good retail practice violations were not being done, as well as there were foods that were not being stored and put up at the proper temperature that it needs to be stored at to prevent foodborne illnesses. And of course, you and I, we know that there have been times, I know I can say that I have gone to a restaurant and immediately, either that night or early that next morning, I got sick. And for me, I would never go back to that restaurant again, because to me, that has always meant that there was either some bad food or some bad handling of the food. It's usually due to unclean hands or a place is unclean. And that has happened a couple of times in my lifetime, and I knew that it was the food that I ate at that restaurant, and I decided to never go back there again, because to me, even if they had an A rating, that meant that there was some things that just weren't kosher, because usually when stuff like that happens, it will cause somebody to get an upset stomach and get sick. Doesn't happen with everybody. Some people have high resilience and tolerance levels, but for most people, that is the reason why they have these inspections in place, because they know that there is a certain temperature that different foods have to be stored at to prevent these illnesses, these pathogens being on these foods and illnesses from happening. So this isn't the first time that this has happened, and it's also not the first restaurant that this has happened at either, because this has also happened at her new restaurant called Blaze Steak and Seafood. Now, Kandi, she did shut down the restaurant Blaze for a period of time after it received a C rating, and she fixed the issues, and they report that in December, that restaurant, it did receive a B rating, which is the highest in the past several months. That does not sound good, because honestly, restaurants, they all should have an A rating. when you see a B, or definitely if you see a C, which is usually in red, that's like a sign to like, I am never going to eat here unless maybe they came under new management, or you know, something where like the restaurant was taken over and it becomes a completely different place and they get an A rating. I would never eat in a restaurant that has a C rating, and to be honest with you, the restaurants, they should not even have a B rating. They should all have an A rating, because when you are going to a place and you're eating and you're drinking, like, that's not the type of sickness that you want people to have, like throwing up, consistently going to the toilet and all of that other stuff, having the bubble guts. Like, no ma'am. So I really want to know what you guys think. Do you think that it's because they just don't have enough people working there due to the labor shortage post-COVID, or is it maybe because they're not paying people enough money, or they just don't have enough of the type of management that they need to supervise the staff and make sure that they're doing all of the things that they need to do? You let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. I mean, Kandi's definitely got the coins to make sure that people are paid well, but I don't know. Sometimes you can just have too much of a good thing, and maybe all of these different restaurants, in my opinion, that I do believe is more of Todd's idea than hers, because we all know that prenup that he signed, it had a lot in there to talk about the money and the things that we do together in this marriage. If anything happens, we split that, but whatever she had prior to the marriage, he doesn't get any part of it. So I feel like sometimes it's just a little bit too much too soon, and that could be the cause of why all of these issues are happening because it is not easy to own a restaurant. It is really hard work, and you're kind of married to it. You're kind of, if you want it to be run well, you kind of always have to be there and eat, sleep, and breathe the restaurant. So I just think that maybe they just don't have enough time involved in these things, in these investments, and they don't have the right people that are supervising and managing everything, because it's cool to, you know, use the Real Housewives of Atlanta as your platform to promote and market these things, because you get all of this free marketing and advertising and you know, all of that. But if these restaurants keep getting these low grades, I don't know how long it's going to last. They may, you know, wind up shutting down some of these restaurants, just like I've seen a number of restaurants that have shuttered their doors after the pandemic and the reopening. So you guys let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section.